Welcome, I'm Deronda with Foods 101. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make one of the freshest tomato basil soups you'll ever make. This is absolutely fantastic, very fresh, easy to make, and low in calories. Now to get this started, you're going to need 2 cups of chicken broth. If you'd like to use a vegetable broth, you may. I've got 2 1/2 cups of tomato juice, a 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I use the no salt added, and Hunt's is the best brand. 1 cup of half and half, 1/4 of a teaspoon of fresh cracked pepper, 1/4 of a cup of unsalted butter, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, this is optional, and 16 leaves of fresh basil. Now if you don't have fresh basil, I would recommend going over to your gardening center and picking up a nice little basil plant because it produces a lot of basil leaves, and we're going to use 16 fresh ones in this recipe. Now let's go over to the oven top. In a large Dutch oven over medium-high heat, we're going to add the chicken broth, the crushed tomatoes. Okay, you want to make sure you get all those yummy crushed tomatoes out of there, and oh my goodness, does that smell so delicious. And next we're going to add the tomato juice. Our 3 ingredients have come to a lovely gentle boil. Now we're going to turn down the heat to simmer, and we're going to simmer this for 30 minutes, stirring every 10 minutes. During the last 10 minutes of simmering, we're going to take our basil leaves. I've just stacked them on top of each other, as you can see there, and we're just going to roll it up. I'm going to take a chef's knife, and I'm going to slowly just start cutting them in really super thin slices because we're going to add this into our ingredients we've got simmering. Oh my goodness, and does this basil smell absolutely fantastic. And see, you got these thin little lovely pieces of basil. And if you were to measure this, you'd have about a cup of fresh chopped basil. In goes the basil, and oh my, woo, does this smell so yummy. Now we're going to take the soup off the burner, and we're going to start pureeing this in small batches. Add small batches at a time to your food processor. I would say about 2 to 3 cups. Add your top because you want to be really careful when you're working with hot liquids. And then we're going to puree it. Back to the saucepan over medium-low. We're going to add the crushed tomatoes, the tomato juice, the chicken broth, along with that fresh basil right back in here. And we're going to whisk in the salt and pepper, along with the half and half. Oh my goodness, if you could be here in my kitchen right now and smell how fantastic this is. So lovely and fresh. And we're going to whisk in the butter. Now we're going to warm this on medium-low for the next 10 minutes. And just let these flavors sit and marry together, and you are going to have this fantastic, I'm not kidding, fresh basil tomato soup. Soup's on. Oh my lads, look how fantastic that looks. And it smells just as fabulous. Now to this, I'm going to add a couple of croutons here on the top, and I'm going to add a little thinly slices of basil. Gotta give it a try. Here we go. It's still super warm. Gotta try it. That is loaded with delicious tomato flavors. The basil brings it completely together, and this is one of the most fantastic freshly made tomato basil soups I've ever come across. Hey y'all, I'm Deronda with Foods 101. Hope you give this a try. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I'll catch you next time.